Hi, good day everyone. My name is Don Gajani from B.4-3. So right now I am going to report my part of ED304. 304 Unit 5, letter B, the nature of administrative work 4 to 6. So without further ado, let's start. B4, leadership effectiveness. As a leader, you should learn how to gain the trust of your surroundings, connect with the people, and develop your influence in a right way. Goals are not that hard to pursue if you yourself as a leader knows how to motivate, encourage, and have a strong trust to the individuals around you. The teachers as leaders should care for the learners and the individuals in the school. Listen to the individual's opinion not around you and not only for yourself. Act as a professional, engage with strong vision, and accept all the different cultures and characteristics of the learners. So, how important is leadership effectiveness? With successful school leadership, schools become effective nurture of learning, places where students are not only educated but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. With poor or absent school leadership, it can hinder the goals of an educational system. When schools lack of strong foundation and direction, learning is compromised and students will suffer. Here are the traits of successful and effective leadership. First is they understand the importance of building community. To build this community network, it is essential that school leaders are visible in their schools and community, develop trust, and create a sense of transparency and shared purpose with parents, staff, community members, and especially to the students. Number two, they have a vision and plan. Vision is perhaps one of the most important qualities a leader can have as it provides momentum and direction, not just for the team leader but for each and every team member or to the students. Of course, in order for leaders to be as successful in pursuing their vision and enacting their plan, they must pair their vision with endless passion. Vision and passion from an effective leader should generate inspiration, motivation, and excitement that fill throughout the school. Number three, they create collaborative, inclusive learning environments. The best educators know this and prioritize inclusivity, creating safe learning environments that nurture every student. Leaders that prioritize inclusive learning also typically believe that every person can contribute to the greater learning community and therefore they encourage collaboration between faculty as well as the students. Number four, they are passionate about their work. Passionate people have a contagious energy that can create effective teacher satisfaction and drive as well as students' performance. This is in large part because people want to follow a passionate leader. Yes, of course. Someone who cares about not only the cause for which he or she is working, but also the other people who are involved in the effort. Passion can passion for the project, for the company, and for people involved are key to successful leadership. Number five, they encourage risk taking. Teachers should encourage risk taking amongst their students to learn from their mistakes and failures in order to spur their growth. Truly effective leaders encourage risk taking amongst their subordinates and colleagues for creating a supportive environment that rewards not just successful ideas or initiatives but effort as well, no matter the outcome. Six, lastly, number six, they lead by example. As a leader that leads by example almost always receives respect and admiration, without which he or she will find little luck in leadership. With a great leadership, learners will follow the footsteps of their teachers as their role model. So how to become an effective leader? So I have here a tips for effective school leadership. Focus on respect rather than popularity. Center your decision-making process around students' needs. Keep students at the core of your decision-making and are consistent. Most staff will accept unpopular decisions, especially if you communicate your reasoning. Next, establish clear goals. In setting objectives, make sure to communicate with your staff so that they understand the roles in accomplishing those shared goals. Next, listen to the input from your staff. Yes. Avoid assuming your solution is the only solution. And intentionally set aside time for interacting with staff and corresponding to their concerns. Creating a people first culture shows staff and you value their input and take your concerns seriously. Next, lead by example. Model the traits that you would like to see your staff members or to the learners display. Let them learn through your positive guidance and action. And lastly, provide regular constructive feedback. Make sure to give your assessments as soon after an encounter as possible and provide examples. Feedback doesn't have to be negative. Use the opportunity to evaluate staff or learners as a platform for offering praise and boosting confidence. Now we go to B number 5, contingency models of leadership. So what is the contingency models of leadership? Contingency models of leadership supposes that a leader's effectiveness is random on whether or not their leadership style suits a particular situation. An individual can be an effective leader in one circumstance and an ineffective leader in another one. To maximize your likelihood of being a productive leader, this theory assumes that you should be able to examine each situation and decide if your leadership style is going to be effective or not. In most cases, this requires you to be self-aware, objective, and adaptable. So without those traits, your leadership will become more ineffective. So I have here a specific factors of contingency models of leadership. First is maturity level of the employees. The next, relationship between coworkers. Work-based management style. Next is typical work schedule, goals and objectives, standards for behavior, company policies, employees' work styles, and also their morale. And here we go to B6, Fiedler's contingency models of leadership. So what is the Fiedler's contingency model of leadership? Fiedler's contingency theory states that for a leader to be effective, their leadership style must fit the situation. Using this model, you'll identify your own leadership style, assess the situation that requires leadership, and determine whether you're the right leader. The theory was developed in the 1960s by Austrian psychologist Professor Fred Fiedler. He studied leaders' personalities and characteristics. In order to best match leaders with situations, each leader must first understand their leadership style. Then they need to evaluate whether their leadership style is right for the situation. Fiedler determined that a leader's ability to succeed rests on two factors. First is natural leadership style, and second is situational favorableness. Leadership style. To help you determine your leadership style, Fiedler developed the least preferred coworker, or the LPC scale. The scale asks you to describe the coworker you least prefer to work with. If you get relationship oriented leaders, then you You are great at building relationships, facilitating team synergy, and managing interpersonal conflict. Task-oriented leaders tend to be skilled at organizing projects and teams to accomplish tasks efficiently and effectively. The next factor is the situational favorableness. Fiedler's model requires you to assess situation at hand. Situational contingency theory, also known as situational leadership, states that every situation that requires leadership is different and requires a specific type of leader. Situational favorableness is determined by three variables. First is leader-member relations. This is all about trust, a trust for their leader. The more they do, the higher their degree or the higher your degree of leader-member relations and the more favorable the situation is. Next is task structure. Refers to the clarity of the tasks required to complete a project. Highly task structure results in a more favorable situation. The more clear-cut and precise tasks are, the higher the situation task structure, whereas the unclear they are, the lower the situation's task structure. And lastly, position power refers to the authority you have over your team as a leader. If you can reward them, punish them, or tell them what to do, your position power or authority is high. As you can imagine, higher position power makes the situation more favorable. So here are my references where I gather my ideas in my report. So that's it. Once again, I am Doran Jajani of BA3. Thank you.